Microsoft recently acquired Citrus Data. Now, Citrus Data is a company who provides you the extension for Postgres, one of the famous RDBMS, and they also provide you database as a service. Basically, Citrus Data is into cloud. It perfectly makes sense for Microsoft to buy this type of companies because Microsoft is also focusing on cloud services. But here's the thing, Citrus Data is an open source company. Now you will say, what's a big deal? Here's the thing, from last year, a lot of big companies, they are acquiring software-based companies. In fact, at one point, few years back, if you talk about companies like who only provide proprietary software, they used to feel that open source is their competition, or they used to hate open source softwares. In fact, the ex-CEO of Microsoft, Stu Ballmer, once said that Linux is a commercial cancer. So they used to hate open source, and now, in fact, Microsoft says they love open source. In fact, if you talk about the acquisition, Microsoft acquired GitHub, one of the biggest platforms where you have all the open source software. In fact, the Linux source code is available on GitHub. IBM acquired Red Hat. Red Hat provides a lot of open source software as well. In fact, Salesforce acquired MuleSoft. And then the amazing thing, Adobe, they acquired one of the biggest open source e-commerce platform, Magento, last year. And think about this. All these big companies, they are acquiring the open source products. Maybe they don't believe now open source is their competition. In fact, I feel it's not about love, it's about survival. Microsoft is focusing on cloud. They want some services, they want open source system to help them. On the other hand, IBM, they want to grow in cloud, so they bought Red Hat. In fact, it's not that open source products are getting famous now. They are famous for a long time, right? Most of the products which we use are open source. Example, Android, Linux, Firefox, VLC player. In fact, the Chrome open source version, which is Chromium, is open source. And then we have Hadoop. All these products are open source. One of the questions which I get often is how this open source company earn. Of course, once they get acquired, they get funds from all these big companies. But what about the companies who are not acquired? See, for them, they earn from services. Example, let's say if we talk about Hadoop. Hadoop is free, right? You can download Hadoop and you can use it. The only thing is Hadoop is not that easy to use it. You have to learn. And that's where this company, they provide training services, they provide installation services, they provide maintenance services, and that's how they earn. On the other hand, let's talk about Firefox. Now, Firefox also, they also provide you paid services, plus they also ask for donations. On the other hand, we have Eclipse as well. So even when you use Eclipse, they ask you for donations. That's how they make money. But yes, when they get acquired, they get funded by these big companies. That was the hate of Microsoft towards open source software before 2014. But in 2014, when they got new CEO as Satya Nadella, he changed the way Microsoft works. He focused more on cloud and mobile. And to make their cloud work, which is Azure, they have to go for open source platform. It can be Linux, it can be working with Citrus Data. They are focusing on open source. So there's one thing which is good about open source now is a lot of big companies, they are acquiring it, they're also funding it. So your future in open source is also secured now. You don't have to worry about will you get the updates. A lot of people, they were confused for Java as well because Java is open source basically. We have the open source JDK available for Java, which is OpenJDK. But on the other hand, we have Oracle JDK, which is paid one, right? You have to pay for it. In fact, you have updated your Java now, you also get that message that from April 2019, you have to pay to use Oracle JDK if you're using it for commercial use. But then don't worry, we have other companies who are giving you free OpenJDK services or support. One of them is Amazon. I don't know if you heard about Amazon Correcto, you will find that link in description. So now you can use OpenJDK for free. Of course, it was free before as well, but now you will also get the updates for it, at least till 2023. So that's amazing, right? That's the open source product, and I'm a big fan of open source product from the earlier stage of my career. So that's it from this video. So again, the point was, it's not, all these big companies are not acquiring open source product just because they love it. It's more about survival.